Hello, you guys. It is forgive. I just realized that my iPad was completely out of juice, so I am charging it right now. Welcome everybody, charging it right now. That's why my little thing is a little bit. Hi, Delilah, Red Dragon, and David, and Material Dio, Milena Shizova. Welcome, you guys. So it's kind of leaning a little bit. Hi, Jizu and Delilah, welcome back. And oh, it's so nice to see you guys. Tilly, welcome. Yeah, it's been. Who just came in? I don't know who just came in, but they'll come in again, and I will say the proper hello. Hi, Pepino. I like you, but I don't like this topic. Okay, well, you know what? I can't think of a topic that everyone can possibly like. Hi, Allie. Some people, hi Dave, some people are gonna like a topic, some people are not gonna like. Families should stick together. Yes. For the most part, Delilah, I do agree that families should stick together. But guess what? We don't get to choose our families. And some families are very, very toxic. And the people, hi Yuzu, hi Ceci, and the people are so used to the mistreatment in the family that they don't even know it's bad for them. Yeah, I've always wondered what the healthy way to make boundaries with toxic. Yeah. It is a fact of life, and we don't always want that. We don't want to break away from a good family. You do? Okay, good. Happy Monday to you. Yeah, I'm not, yes, but even in the times because they don't know what they do. Okay, so I agree with that. They may not be knowing what they do, but if you have a parent who is molesting your child, what do? Do you stay there because they don't know what they're doing and you let your child be molested? If you have a parent who is always insulting you, always putting you down because they don't know what they're doing, do you take it? No, I disagree. You don't take it. Not all families are good. Not all people are good to their children or to their siblings. Yeah, no, well, it's all part of breaking away from toxic family members. So that's the thing. Definitely, and then everybody has their own limitations, right? Let's suppose that every time you go over to your parents' house for Thanksgiving, your mom just puts you down. Just, what's wrong with your hair? When are you gonna get a man? Well, your clothes are terrible. You're dressing like a hobo, right? Hi, Fidesayo. What if every time you go, and Chaos Gal, I saw you. If every time you go, and you feel really bad about yourself, do you take it just because they happen to be your family? Just because they had you, do you take that abuse? That's not what family does. See, that is not what family does. Families, you can have excellent families that are loving and supportive. Don't listen to it. Don't accept it. Well, but don't listen to it. You're there, sitting there right in front of them. You're a loser. I don't even know. You're not going to go to school. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. And, what's wrong with you? What if they're always taking it to work, telling them what I like? Yeah. It's just being realistic. They become emotional leeches. Yeah. So I'm not saying if you have a good family that you're going to get rid of them. But there are some families that are very toxic. You go there and maybe one of the people in the family is an alcoholic and they drink very heavily. And then when they're there, they cause a lot of drama. You don't need to take that, So I'm going to run to Area 51 again. Okay. So you see, you don't have to take abuse. And the people who maybe have a thought like, well, that's what families do. No, that is not what families do. That is what some families do. Other families are very loving and very supportive, and they're kind. They have dinner and they laugh and they make jokes, and they don't put any of the family members down. Your dad used to do heroin, then what was that like? Kind of makes you feel pointless. Yeah, and you don't want, it reminds me of my mom and dad seeing My Big Fat Green Wedding. Yeah, but I saw that movie. That was supposed to be entertaining. And then he introduced the drugs to you. So yeah, that's a very toxic, hi, Privyet. You're homeless for 4 years. Wow, but you made it through. That's unbelievable. That's excellent. So yes, I'm not saying it's so hard to cope with. It can also become toxic. Yeah, if you have that's right. If you have a family member that is has a mental illness, then you need to get them help, right? Can't choose your family doesn't make exactly. Okay, so that is what I'm talking about. You don't get to choose your family, you get to choose your friends. And your family isn't always kind and loving. It's sad, but it is true. There are some families that are so horrible to their kids that it's like, oh my God. So those kids are growing up very, very wounded. Oh boy. Oh yeah. So yeah, if you have a borderline personality parent, hi booty lover, that's very hard to deal with. They run hot and cold. They can love you one minute, they can hate you the next. And it is very traumatic to have a parent like that, or as a narcissistic parent. It's horrible. So no, I don't say ever to take it just because they're your family. You don't have to take it. Look, I have a brother in my family who used to be a drug addict, and before you got away, 57, but you did, right? And my brother lived here in our house for a while. And then he said, I'm never going to do drugs again. So we gave him a chance to be in the house. He caused so much drama. My parents, who are elderly, had to deal with that. And I had to deal with that. My husband had to deal with that. It was a nightmare, right? You remember things she did. Maybe she could, or she could have blocked it out, Allie. But I'm currently in her womb waiting to be born. Yeah, so my brother, oh my gosh, I remember him walking into the kitchen and knocking over the skillet that had food frying in it or cooking, and falling onto the ground. He was so wasted. So do I allow that because he's my family, because he's my brother? Do I tune it out? Absolutely not. No, that's not. You don't accept that. Just because I love my brother, you don't accept it. Has had mental treatment for years. It can still be. Oh, absolutely, yes. Yeah, so that's what happened. So I had to say goodbye to him, and I said, you need to leave. Broke the silence to help me. Yeah, there's always one person in the family who has the courage to say, you know what, enough is enough, and then break the silence. It's very important. And look, there's all kinds of, I can love from afar. Look, he finally moved out and got the help he needed. He had to get to the rock bottom, but I wasn't going to put up with it. He actually stole my laptop, stole my wallet, my husband's wallet. So it was pretty bad. So in the case of Delilah saying you have to stick with him, no, you don't. I don't agree with that, right? We had to say goodbye. You have to go, and he went into a rehab center finally, and now he's moved far away, and he gave up the drugs, gave up smoking, and he's doing well as far as I can know. And I talked to him on the phone, and it's all good. How embraceable you are. It's all good now. We talk from afar, and it's good. You have to set the boundaries. There are some times when there is something happens in the family. It could be a misinterpretation. You could have been talking to somebody, you thought they said one thing, and it really was something else. These kinds of things, yes, you can fix. Hi, Alexander. You can fix those things. You can talk to your family member and say, hey, what's going on? That's not what I meant. And I remember reading about a story of two brothers who didn't speak to each other for 23 years. And eventually, hi Tata, oh yes, eventually those two brothers couldn't even remember what the fight was about. And eventually one did. Remember, it was about a pair of shoes. They didn't talk to each other for 23 years. Okay, in a case like that, look, if you have a family is coping emotionally with letting go of a toxic family member and the guilt you feel. Okay, that's a great, thank you for bringing that up, because when you have to cut away from a toxic family member, it could affect other members of the family, all right? And I am not saying sometimes that you have to never see them again. Maybe you can see them in a public place. Maybe you can limit your time, and you can say, I'm going to drop by for 30 minutes and then I gotta go. It doesn't have to be 100% away and cut off, unless they are very abusive and physically and verbally. And then at that point, you don't need that person in your life. And what is the guilt about, actually? Really? Yeah, what is the guilt? You don't have to take the emotional abuse. You're guilty because you're taking care of yourself. No, guilt is a wasted emotion. Feel guilty if you go into a liquor store and steal some things. Feel guilty if you actually, hit somebody or crash into their car and hit and run, right? Yes, that's true. Yes. So, thank you, Ceci, for the super hearts. Listen, if you're going to cut off ties with a certain person, it could affect the other people. Let's suppose that you, let's suppose that now you have to cut ties with your mother because your mother is just terrible to you and she's always making you feel very small. And use emotional abuse. Yes, and that's called manipulation, Tilly. Right? That's called manipulation. And now maybe she only treats you really badly and she treats your brother really good. He's like the favorite. And so every time you go, he puts you down. Did you guys ever used to see Friends? That show Friends? This is a perfect example, right? Hi, Universal Truth. Thank you for inviting followers. In the show Friends, Monica and her brother, what was his name? I can't even think of his name right now. Oh, Ross. So Ross and Monica were siblings in the show Friends, right? It's the funniest show ever. And the mother used to treat Monica terribly. She got rid of her things that were from high school, all her memorabilia. She used to put her down all the time. And then she worshipped Ross, treated him and had him on a pedestal. And so that's an example right there. So if you have to break, hi Kevin, if you have to break ties with your mom in a case like that, although I wouldn't suggest breaking ties completely in a case like that. Hi Blue Dream, you remember that one? Yeah, and the mother would always treat Monica just the worst, always telling her insulting things, and never to Ross. Ross was just her favorite child in life, right? So hi Olive. So in a case like this, maybe you don't want to cut complete ties because it's not horrible, but it's just bad enough that you don't want to be with her very often. So you cut the communication. So it's maybe you talk to her once a week for 20 minutes on the phone, and as soon as she starts insulting you, you say, listen, I gotta go. I had a friend who had a very toxic mother. This mother was terrible to her. When she was young, she would verbally and physically abuse her. Mine turned brothers against me. Yeah, and some people do that. That just goes to show you what kind of a person they are. Yeah, once a month phone call. And some people just deserve only once a month phone call. Yes, get away. And it was so awkward. I felt no connection to my 4 sisters. Oh, yeah, and it's sad. And it's sad when you have to feel the loss of that. That is very sad. And like I said, we don't get to choose our parents. Maybe some parents are really bad. In the case of my friend, her mother was terrible, and she would get, like at Christmas time, she would buy a presents for her husband and the son, and wouldn't get my friend a present. Yeah, we have to accept the reality, as harsh as it is. So she was always feeling wounded. So she started going to a therapist, and the therapist told her, you're being treated like a doormat right now. If you are talking to her on the phone and she starts in on you, immediately say, listen, Mom, I gotta go. I've got some things to do. And then just hang up and go. And this is what we can do as people if we are in a toxic relationship, but we don't want to completely cut the ties. Don't feel guilt. Guilt is oh my God, it is pointless unless you actually are doing something wrong that is morally or ethically or just wrong. Then guilt is nothing. It will eat you up alive. So yes, you cut the ties with the toxicity, and that could include the person. So cutting them off and saying goodbye makes them angry sometimes. It will, of course it will. And they will put the blame on you, and they will become the victim, right? I can't believe your sister's doing this to me. I can't believe, that I can't believe it after all I've done for her, Yes, so they will become the victim. These are manipulators. We've done many topics on manipulators. Their daughter, she's so nasty to her dad, and I thought we'd both help her. Well, yeah, who knows what? Are all toxic people narcissists? No, no, Jeanette. Not all toxic people are narcissists. Some people are just very toxic. They're just they were raised in a bad situation and they just bring it up and they just mistreat their children. I said shame on me for losing electricity yesterday and our signal was dropped on our call. Shame on you. Okay. So, how do you deal with that, right? So you don't take it personally. That's number one. You don't take it personally, because if you're taking it personally, you're dealing with someone who doesn't know how to be in a relationship. And it's actually like Delilah was saying, and she probably left because she didn't like this topic, but she said, they don't know what they're doing. In some cases, this is the way they've been raised, and they actually don't know what they are doing. It's your great-grand. Hi, Maiden. Fact twisters and blame shifters can't win with them. No, you cannot win with people who are like that. As sad as it is. So you take the good with the bad, and sometimes you can go over and say, if you can see your siblings by themselves, you can go see maybe one of your parents is really nice and the other one is not. Just laugh to myself. That's all you can do. And just know, you don't take it personally. There's something wrong in their mind. Remember, if something is literally wrong in the way they perceive something, you cannot convince them otherwise. It's just impossible. It doesn't matter what you do to say, this is the way it is. It doesn't matter. And I say, you want to study psychology? Well, good for you. Go to school. Yeah, what school? Depends on where you are. I went to Antioch University, and I loved that school. Привет. She still says I'm not a part of their family. Okay, so there's what I'm talking about. Somebody to say you're not a part of the family after 20 years. And maybe at this point you can say, you know what? I'm glad. I don't want to be part of this family. If someone is mistreating you and saying those kinds of things, you don't want to be part of that family. And it's sad because everybody wants to feel like they're part of a family, Yeah, you're a part of a bigger family in this life, but it is sad because we all want that connection to somebody who loves and cares about us. And not all families are toxic, right? Nazis, and that's when your mom's families are Nazis. Oh my gosh, and that's why your mom ran away. Wow, that's pretty. I would run away too. I have had enough. Yeah, I tore the family apart. My father earned sainthood. He never left me, kept the connection. How did you tear your family apart? Where can you donate? Actually, you can donate. You can go to my profile, and there's a PayPal in there if you want to donate. That's very nice of you. Thank you for saying that. Hi, Blonde Wolf. Thank you for offering that. Yeah, PayPal. I have PayPal, and it's on my profile picture. You can just go there. Anyway, oh, I have Cash App. I don't know what that is. I don't know. My own mom never did anything for her. I have anger issues too. That's what keeps my faith in God family. Look, we all have to have our own faith in what we need. Okay, so if you have friends that are really good, some friends are like family members. Some friends are even better than family members. Some siblings stick together, and sometimes it's just one of the parents that is kind of really toxic. And maybe at that point, family and that have been, well, in Apache Punk, you had to do that. You had to cut off your family that have been abusive. Yeah. Hi, Kelly. Oh my God, Real Kelly has changed her name to Kelly Jewel. Welcome, the new name. It's okay to be separate from the family. Hi, Frank. Jealousy, not accepting. No, you don't accept anything from anybody. Like, we have a brother, and yes, exactly, Jeanette. You get to choose your friends and not your family. I have amazing friends. Now, I have a good family too. I got lucky. Okay, I'm one of the lucky people that have had a good family. My mom, though, was not always easy. She was very manipulative when I was growing up as a teenager. And we've talked about this before. And I used the techniques that I've told you about how to deal with a manipulator, and it worked. And she finally just stopped, right? I can't take it. They're all like that. Yes, if you have an alcoholic parent, I am so sorry for you. My mom came from an alcoholic home. Her father was an alcoholic, brilliant man, but an alcoholic. So she grew up as an adult child of an alcoholic, and they have their own issues. She's very manipulative. Your dog is your best friend. Yeah, dogs are actually amazing. Dogs can actually make extend your life. Did you know that? Judge me, I don't need. No, they can blame you all, and people always look for blame, and they don't see. I have known actually clients who have been, yeah, for sure, who have been abused by one of the parents or one family member, okay, and one of the other family members has actually said, well, don't say anything. You're going to ruin the family. You're going to make this family separate. And they actually have told them to put up with the abuse. Okay? Yes, me, but only when she drink. Oh, okay. It's to point of fingers instead of, yeah, people like to point the fingers. They do reduce stress, yeah. So yes, in some cultures, some of the people that I had were Hispanic in my clients, and the parents with the mother say, well, don't say anything, don't worry. You're going to ruin the family. This actually was said to a girl that was molested by her father and her uncle. Don't worry about it. Just, this is what we do. We don't say anything about it, okay? You were wrong. I was, oh yeah. You're not always, that's the thing. You're not always wrong, right? But me and they don't care how I feel. Yeah, in a case like that, a lot of abusers, they don't know and they want someone to blame. They want somebody to blame. If always pointing the finger, not realizing what they're doing to that child, how they're gonna hurt them as they get older. It is pretty horrible. I've talked to people and that have just so wounded from things that parents have done and said, and it's just terrible. She threatened. Okay, nice person, right? Yeah, it is wrong on many levels. I have another one. Horrible. I'm glad you got out of there, Apache. I'm so glad you got out of there. And I know that Delilah said not all families don't know what they're doing. It doesn't matter. You need to get out. If you have a family who is toxic, who is abusive, you need to cut the ties. And it might impact some of the other family members. And there's nothing you can do about that. Okay? You don't understand their moral compass exactly but they were damaged themselves. Remember, these kids didn't come from excellent, beautiful, heartwarming homes, right? Yeah, you have gifts. Obviously, you have a lot of strength because not everybody can do that, and they keep going back to the same toxic family and they take the abuse over and over again and they think that's okay. Oh, it's okay. So one of the things, you have art and music. That's beautiful. Yeah, that's another thing that you don't want to do is make justification for the toxic person's behavior. If there's a toxic person in your family and they're just toxic because they're mean and they grew up like that for whatever reason, don't make justification. Oh, he's having a bad day. Oh, she's tired. Oh, the bullying towards me and not. Oh, so you had an adoptive family and you also had bullying in there. Wow, I'm telling you, this is what's wrong with our world right now. Pretending she was perfect. Wow, very hard to do that. They're like family. Yeah. Look, there are a lot of abusive people, and we're not going to stop the abusive people in Lakewood. You grew up in Lakewood. So all we can do for their behaviors, that's right. We have to hold people accountable, but not everybody does. They just keep going back and making excuses. They don't want to be left out in the cold. They don't want to be ignored. They'd rather have a bad, abusive family than have nothing at all. But that really damages the psyche. It really damages the person. You can't have a normal relationship with someone else coming from that and being involved in that. Hurt people hurt other, and we have to be the ones to break the chain. Yeah. She cut your hair off, like all your hair off? Oh my God. I have a friend, she was 12 years old, blind, deaf, and was so loving and loyal. Oh. I have a friend whose daughter was molested as a little girl by her cousin. Good. And you now, see, you probably, we tend to go to what is common to us. And that's not an unusual thing that you picked an abusive person, but you're learning. You're learning, right? So this girl was abused by her cousin. She was at a wedding. They were showing, and she didn't remember. She had blocked it out. She was at a wedding. They were showing videos. And oh, thank you, Dave. Thank you for being here today. It's always a pleasure. Come back. There's always a place for you in here. Always. You know, kind of what's better to do in the moment, staying emotionally stable. Yes, absolutely, Ali. 100% right. Anyway, so my friend's daughter was watching the videos they were playing, and then she saw the cousin on the screen. And at that moment, it all came back to her, right? And she's like, remember, she got very upset, and the molestation came back. So she finally told her mom and dad. They had never known about it. And this girl is now in her early 20s. Never told her parents. Is family that vote Trump considered toxic? I don't even want to answer that. I don't want to answer that, Ludwig. Yes, she didn't post-traumatic stress. Well, she kind of had post-traumatic stress. She's very overweight. And that's how she protected herself, eating and eating, so she could keep people off of her. So she told her parents. The parents made an announcement on Facebook about the cousin. And guess what they all did? They hid it under the table. They didn't want to talk about it. They say, you're terrible for bringing this up now. And this is what the families do. You know, Witch and the Wizard of Oz. She always will remind me of the witch. Okay, I missed that, Marie. Who will remind you of the Witch and the Wizard of Oz? Yeah, so my friend's daughter, I mean, she was basically, you shouldn't have brought it up. You shouldn't have said a word. And they try to just cover it up. It's like a giant cover up to protect this perpetrator cousin. I know. So a lot of families do that. Now, why should a person stand for that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You need to set the boundaries. Yeah, you need to set the boundaries. And like I said, you don't have to cut 100% the ties and never ever see them again. But if you do see them, I know, it was terrible, Tilly. If you do see them, then make it to 20 minutes at a time or 30 minutes, or if you have to be the same place, just kind of be away from them. I can't even imagine that. But she just was weird. Well, there are some weird people out there that are awkward and just strange, you know. Yeah, there are. They will start trouble. Yeah, you could, look, if they start saying something to you, you can just walk away. Say, oh, excuse me for a second. Remember, don't take it personally. My parents were good people. Yeah, mine too. I had good parents, and I've been a good parent to my sons and good grandmother to my grandkids. Some people are just verbally abusive. That's true, and those words can cut you like a knife if you hear it often enough. Yeah, me too. You know, there are kids that grow up hearing verbal abuse, and you know what happens to these kids? They grow up to be adults. These are the people I see who feel like they're not lovable, who feel like they're not worthy of love and attention. And so they end up with people who mistreat them because this is what they were used to. Be toxic, and they do it for certain. Oh yeah, Seth, absolutely. I have a brother who's completely toxic. He's finally gone to another state now, living in another state, and we talk, but it's on the phone, and you know, he's away now. But when he was here, oh my gosh, you had to find a place. Remember, Betty, that whatever your mom did or said was never really about you. It was never anything to do with you. Or people I can't find a husband in a rape culture where people use each other for sex. Well, there's some good guys out there, though. I know you probably have. Thank you, Marie. I know you probably are thinking, you know, there are no good guys out there in the world, but really there are. You just have to shift your mindset of who you believe you're gonna get, right? Arrête de fumer cigarette beaucoup, mes cigarettes. Je ne fume pas. Je ne fume pas. No. Je ne fume pas. There isn't much. Well, where are you? I stay away from the environment for people who are toxic. Yeah, you have to stay. Plenty of flowers, you have to weed the garden. Yes, a lot of people don't want relationships. It's a thing. Really? Well, change. Oh, you're in Riverside. Oh, it's not bad. Look, you have to change your mind shift, and you have to say to yourself, there are good people in the world, because if you create that belief and say there are no good people, there are no good men, there are no good relationships, then that becomes the reality that you face. There have to be good people, and all the people in the world, there are still good people. Then kids grow up being like that towards others because they think, that's right, they think it's normal, Maureen. My parents were great. They left me at home and went to pub over the road, and the electric one was 7. Wait, your parents were great. They left me at home and went to pub. They left you home alone, and when they went to the pub to drink. Is that what you're saying? That's not good either. Look, I know good-looking women single because it's a rape culture. Okay, what do you mean by a rape culture? What do you mean by that? And that understanding, is there a lot of rape in Riverside? Or I know women get raped, that's for sure. But you have to protect yourself, and you just have to protect yourself. But I don't know. Oh yes, rape in Riverside. Oh my God. All right. Well, I would suggest you take classes to protect yourself. Impact, anything that you can feel secure. People that like to have sex don't call or text. That's true. Yeah, no. Rapist is, and it's not about the sex. I'm gonna get set boundaries because of rape culture. Oh, okay. We had a few mistakes they were partying on, but they were good parents mainly. Oh, okay. Yeah, pocket knife. Well, teaching people that was teaching people that were no good. Inside I knew there was a good people. Good. Yeah, there is good in people. Look, there are good people in the world. I don't want you guys to have a warped view of people. There are some bad families, and they produce children, and some of these kids are just wonderful kids that are growing up in horrible environments, or any physical abuse. Yeah, I booked our wedding for August. Hope you still have your dress. I still have my dress. Oh my God, that's funny. Try getting on that dating site. That's all. Look, I would never go to the dating site. If I were single today, probably I would stay single because I see how difficult it is to find a guy that would match everything that I want. I don't think he exists other than my husband. The disrespect toward women, and women have to stand up, and I think more and more women are doing that right now. I don't know. You're right, because I don't live in that. I'm married. I've been married for 32 years, and if I had to start dating again, literally I don't know what I would do. I think I wouldn't. At my age now, to find somebody that fits me, no. On a Christian friend side, okay? Nope, I'm right here. My queen, we're perfect friends. Yes, that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard, that it is pretty bad dating out there. If I fit you like a glove. If I were single, maybe I'd try the library. Yeah, if I were single right now, I would go and join up with vegan groups, book groups, hiking groups. I wouldn't do the Tinder site. No. Wouldn't do any of those sites. Those are hookup sites. Okay? Yeah, no, I would not go through those sites, you guys. But kids are. What if you want to break away, but kids are involved? Oh, that's a great question. Okay. If you want to break away, but you're saying, so you have kids and the grandparents want to see the kids? Okay. Yes, I'm eco-warrior and vegan. I would do that too. Yeah. Yes. Hang out with like-minded people. So that is a wonderful... Okay, so if that's the case, limit your time. And if they were not good to you, how are they treating the kids? And do you want to expose your kids? That's question number one. If they were not good to you, your parents, and now you've got children and they want to see the kids, how are they treating their children, your children? Are they abusive to them too? And if that's the case, okay, I'll answer that in a second. If that's the case, then you don't want the children being exposed to that. If they're for some reason being nice to the children, I would be there for a very limited amount of time, and then say, well, we can stop by for an hour, but then I gotta go. Little Susie has an event, so they make it very limited. The time very limited. And then you got to make sure they're not mistreating the kids too. Then women, why is that? I don't know if men are usually grumpier. Son is going into base training. He said he's going to fail. How do I turn this thinking around? Oh my gosh. Let's say kids, some good people are like me. Yeah. So you got to think, well, how are they treating your kids? All right. If your son says, I'm no good at this, see, whatever you tell your mind is listening to. Your mind is paying attention. You got to change what he says. Tell him to just flip that around and say, I'm going to be good. I'm going to be great at this. I can do it. I have the strength. And he has to keep repeating that over and over again. Make it like a mantra. For all my family and all that stuff, people think, oh, so your dad is extremely toxic. He's an amazing person. Yeah, see? I don't know what country you're in, but men are definitely more grumpier than women. Women are usually happy. Yeah, I'm in California, and the men don't seem particularly more grumpy than the women here. Yeah, meetup groups, like I've been to French meetup groups. There are meetup groups for everything. There are book groups. There are groups that go hiking or walking groups, something that is outdoors, something that like-minded people you're going to meet. That's the kind of stuff that you have to do. Those Tinder sites are basically hookup sites, and people lie in those things all the time. Yes, so spirituality, people who are very into spirituality and nature, art, music, oh my God, all those things. That's where you need to go. And then you'll meet the right people there. And don't push it, don't press it. Don't press it. Because you can't push people to like you or to want to be in your life. It's just, you can't force anything. But you have to release all the feelings that you have. You have to release them. I have to question with people on those hookup sites. Yeah, I think it started off with a good idea, but now I think they're just hookup sites. How people made their society where they used each other is disgusting. Yeah, so all you can do is you don't allow yourself to be used. You just don't allow yourself to be used. And you set your boundaries. People are losing their humanity. I can understand why you feel that way. I'm looking around at what's happening in the world, and it is easy to see that from that perspective. What does he do about his toxic dad? I would, thank you, Alex. I would stay away from the toxic dad. Even if other people think he's amazing, it's like the person, they're like two-faced, right? Going to these side, people are vicious, and well, not here, right? Not here, people aren't vicious and mean. In this side, everybody's friendly and kind and loving, unless you have a couple of little trolls. These days, certain people are toxic and they just don't care. Some people are, but we gotta be careful not to generalize, you guys. Not everybody is bad. If we think that everybody is bad, we're gonna find all the bad people. How to get rid of toxic family, value yourself. Yeah. This is a great one with you. So this is a positive experience here. So there are other positive experiences out there. Almost everybody has bad toxic. Yeah. So what you do for the chubby or whatever, many nice people. There are some really nice people. There are nice people out there. There really are. But you got to change to that. I'm going to run into nice people. There are really nice people out there. Work, I'm getting harassed. My kids disrespect me. I'm trying to get away from it all. All right. So there's got to be a reason why you're getting harassed and why people are disrespecting you. Yeah, you got to be done, but you have to be done up here, Apache. You have to be done up here. You got to shift your mind, and you're going to say, I am no longer going to get harassed. I'm no longer going to be disrespected. And it's all going to start with the way you view yourself. And that's what you're going to put out into the world. Well, but I care, and other people care. So you stand up for yourself. I don't know if America's more toxic. With my stepmother to make my dad happy, even if I don't like her. You know what? I say if you're gonna see your family, if you're gonna see your family, if your stepmom is not really, it's not really nice, I would just see her when you go there and just be polite and courteous and just limit it to that. Just be polite and courteous. Oh yeah, you can cut, and you have to. Sometimes you have to. Send for something, or you fall for anything. Yeah. So in some cases, when the family is just so toxic that it makes you feel horrible about yourself, why would you put yourself in that situation? What kind of a family is that? Yeah, be polite and courteous and say, okay, nice to see you, and leave. Don't give it energy. Don't take what she says personally. And just when you see her, don't go out of your way to, be in her presence. Don't go out of your way to call her. But if you have to see her, just be very polite and kind. That's it. You can't stop crying. Look, I understand why you're feeling like that. When you have a family, but that's like that, and your kids are disrespecting you, you got to say, why are your kids disrespecting you? Why are your kids disrespecting you? What are you doing yourself? Take a look at yourself. Start exploring you, because you start everything of how people treat you. Dictate how people will treat you. And of course, even though it's hard, and it is hard. So you start treating yourself with love and respect. Do not take abuse from anybody. Do not take disrespect or abuse from anybody. And yeah, it's absolutely okay to cry. Absolutely okay. It's tears, release. It's a release for our bodies. You're trying to move far away. But let me say one thing, Apache. You can move as far away as possible as you can, but if your mind hasn't changed, you'll still be there, okay? Oh yeah, she did put on weight to protect herself. My friend's daughter, oh yeah. I think she's in therapy now. But you can go as far as you want. But remember, you have to change your mindset. You have to believe that you are good, that you're loving, that you are worth, that you are enough in this life. You have to believe all of that. It is not, regardless of what anybody says, you have to believe. And if somebody is disrespecting you, you say, I refuse to accept that. And walk away. Walk away. And you do that enough, and the person is either going to stop disrespecting you, or you just don't see them anymore. You just going to have to there is a lot of drama, but stay away from the drama. Some family conflicts can be good. If you have a good family, you absolutely should have contact with that family, right? People out of well, don't cuss everybody out. You don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, okay? Patty is right. You teach people how to treat you, okay? What to do with that. Most of them, I'm still figuring it out. And it's a process, all right? It's a process. Get you some pepper spray. Some pepper spray. Well, that's only dealing with the rape culture thing. But look, treat yourself and know, and this is what you need to say to yourself. I am lovable. I am worthy. I am enough. I am good. You deserve to be in this planet. You were born for a reason. You deserve to be here. You're bad because they can use it. Well, I'm talking about, Alex, and I see where you're going. I'm talking about a family who is abusive. Abusive, and when I say abusive, putting you down, demeaning you, verbally just cutting you down to pieces. Oh, hi, Paul. When did you come in? And thank you for the super hearts. Yes, so you have to say that to yourself and believe it. You described it as scary and exciting in your book. Yes, and it is scary. It's both scary and exciting, isn't it? Both. Look, we are making choices every single day of our lives. Every day we're making a choice. How are we going to react? What are we going to do? We are here on our journey, and mostly the journey we're doing by ourselves. The people who have love and support fare really good if they have that social connection. And if you don't, not everybody's easy. Just try to make your life work. Yeah, not everybody's easy. Life is very tough, like the Buddhists say. All right, then you have to be your own parent, Apache, and that's going to be hard. You have to be your own parent. All right? Remember, some people lose their parents anyway through death. So you just happen to lose yours. This is my only support. Yeah. And you have to be your own parent. You have to be. And like I said, some people lose their parents in car accidents and through illness. And they have no actual parents. But what do? You find support systems. You find friends. You start loving yourself. Once you love yourself, and I mean taking care of who you are as a human being, and knowing that you deserve love. Once you change that mindset, then everything else start falling into place. At 12, and he did metalworking not for enjoyment but for the money. Yeah, so that happens. You can still lose your parents. Some people lose them through a death. Other people lose them through mental illness and Alzheimer's in the 50s, and life got better. It's never too late. Yes, never too late to change our journey. It doesn't matter how old you are. You can use prayer, whatever works. Listen, I'm going to recommend a book. So I have to be my own parent. Yeah, exactly. Yes, Apache. Talk to yourself, but put your little notes everywhere, reminding you every day. Of course it does. Oh my God, it does alter your self-conscious because you believe it. And no, there's no quick fix. No, but see, when you're a little kid and you look at your parents, they are reflecting to you who they believe that you are. If they're reflecting, still pray but in my native way. Okay, whatever works for you. If you look at your parents and your parents are seeing a crappy kid, why were you born? Hey John, oh my God, I'm 10 minutes beyond right now. If your parents are reflecting back to you, hi Dark Beauty. If they're reflecting back to you that you're a piece of shit and you're worth nothing, you grow up thinking that. It's not even your fault. You don't know any better. Some kids don't know that there's any difference until they go over to somebody's friend's house. And the friends' families are really nice. And they're like, oh my God, my parents don't treat me like that. My parents don't kiss me and hug me goodnight before they go to bed or read me stories. My parents don't treat me with respect. And then they start seeing a difference. Okay? Some people do. Most parents are so busy working now. Daisy stuff for both sides. Yeah, I'm realizing how I choose to react. Yes, I'm going to recommend a book that I find exemplary, okay? You're welcome, Betty. The book is called Surrender or Letting Go. Letting Go, surrendering to the pathway or something like that. And saying not today or any day will help us well. Yes. Maybe a problem someone like here. I always make it. Well, if the person is good and can be reasonable, you can talk to them. Absolutely. If you are somebody that you can talk to and they're reasonable, then absolutely yes. Then you can talk to them if you have a problem. If they are civil, there are some parents that are not civil. They are irrational, and you cannot reason with irrational people, no matter what. You cannot reason with irrational people. You can talk to your blue in the face, and they won't even respect you or listen to you or anything else. All right? Listen, ultimately, it is up to us. It is up to us how we see. That's it. Thank you, Ali. By David Hawkins. I am almost done with this book. It is fantastic. I recommend it. I'm listening to it on Audible, and I actually got the book, the actual book, so I can go back and read it again. It's that good, and it will help all of you with toxic families and everything else. So I highly recommend you get this book and read it or listen to it, right? Oh, good, Painted Sky. I'm glad. Listen, I want to just finish with this. It is called Letting Go, The Pathway to Surrender by David Hawkins. It's really good. All right, you're welcome. You can see family holidays, and that will give space for everyone. That's right. And like I said, you don't have to cut it completely out. You can see them, or if you talk to them on the phone, you can always say, listen, I only have 10 minutes. I'll talk to you later, and don't take anything. Oh, you lift your highest potential. Okay. Oh, that's right. That's the one you talked about, John. All right. Any last questions before I sign off here? Thank you, Apache. And remember, be your own parent. Love yourself. Thank you, David. Love yourself. Treat yourself in the right way and change your mind shift. Let go of all the feelings that are causing you and weighing you down. Okay, good. This is the only side that isn't me. Well, I can't even believe that. By the way, if you know other people that need a support system, bring people in here. I am very happy to talk to everybody here. Everybody, yes, try to communicate if you can. Check out my YouTube channel, you guys. I'm on YouTube now, Therapy Express with Rosanna. Go and click on there. I'm going to be uploading another video on Friday. We're on Wednesday and Friday. Yeah, yep, that's right. I'll be here Wednesdays and Fridays. It's called Therapy Express with Rosanna. You can just type Therapy Express and put my name on there. I talk about a topic every single Friday. Oh, thank you, Chaos Gal. Thank you. Web Theory Comedy YouTube. Okay, I gotta check that out. Anyway, so thank you for your support. If you've already subscribed to my channel, thank you. And Angie and JB, if you've already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much for your support. If you haven't, check it out. You might really like it. And we're just starting it out, so we're all learning. My son is the videographer, and he's learning how to do all this stuff. So we're learning together, but I expect to come up with a lot of good content. And I'm also going to be doing live streaming, okay? Okay, Tiny Temper. Thank you, Paul. I'm going to be doing live streaming too, where we got to learn how to do that, where I can have live and people can call in with their questions about relationships or whatever, okay? I'm going to be figuring that how to do that. Tu parles français? Oui, je parle français. Anyway, so that's it for that. And be looking for me with the live stream. That's going to come up probably sometime in mid-August. For right now, I'm just on there on Fridays. And this Friday's topic is going to be how to fight, but fight fair with your loved one. And things to do and things not to do when you are fighting. I can also parler espagnol. That's funny. Tu fais quoi aujourd'hui? Je fais beaucoup de choses. That's some stuff for live streaming. Oh, you have to have 1,000 subscribers to live stream? Oh, man. Oh, my God. No, I'm a long way from that. Then I can't live stream until I have 1,000 subscribers? Really? Oh, yeah, I'm not even at 100 yet. That's what I thought. I thought it was 100, but maybe I was wrong. Well, Ali, I hope so. Pass it on. Pass it on. Get friends and family, the good family, to subscribe, and I will be trying to... pourquoi, je ne sais pas. Le temps qui passait. Toxic family. It was how to break with family toxic members, but I am done now. So I will be back on Wednesday with more to discuss. Have a wonderful 2 days, and remember, you can make choices that are good for your life. It is up to you what choices you want to make. Okay? All right, you guys. I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.